Back again with my beat up globe, as you can see. I was watching a YouTube video by Brian Mullen, and he picks up this Reader's Digest Atlas at a rummage sale. And he opens it up to page 65, and he shows this picture. And he says, take a look at North America. Well, from the video, I really couldn't tell what he was talking about. I couldn't even see Alaska. So I jumped on eBay and I bought my own book. This was $5 and $3 shipping. Pretty cheap. Now, taking a closer look at this picture here. Alright, is it real? That's the question. Everything looks right. And over here it says, below is a satellite view of Earth. Okay, if you turn it like this, you can actually see Alaska up here. Okay, so everything looks good. But now, this outer ring here, this whole outer ring, all right, that is the equator. Well, let's go around this thing and prove it's the equator. All right, you'll see South America and Central America. And if you look on a globe, that's about right. Yep, looks good to me. Let's take a look at Africa. You'll see the big area with the water down here. Let's go to the globe. Here's the equator. Sure enough, there it is. Let's go further. Let's go over to the Philippines. All right, here's the Philippines. Here's Malaysia. And you'll notice this little piece here that hooks up. Let's see if we can find that on here. All right, there we go. There's the Philippines. And there's that little piece with the hook that goes up. And that is right on the equator. So this picture is of the complete northern hemisphere. Now here's the problem I have with this image. Okay, if you take any object, all right, and you're looking at it straight, when you tilt it, from our perspective, it gets shorter, much like the globe. If this is a picture of the northern hemisphere, let's turn this globe around. Okay, we'll take Africa, for example. We're looking at Africa. Down by the equator, you can see the water. But if you're way up here, you can barely see it. All right, I'm not even above the North Pole yet. Here's the North Pole. You can't even see that. Okay, well, you could say, well, you're not far enough away. All right, now I'm farther away. Let me zoom in here. Well, I can see Africa, but I can't see the water underneath the west section. Now, here's the best example to make my case. All right, there's that little island. All right, with the hook. If you look for it on this atlas, she is right here. Okay, and this little line here is the equator. And if you go to the key, it'll give you a scale on miles. With my finger is almost 100 miles. Well, that comes out to being 20 miles from the equator. All right, if you're and it's a mountain. The island has a big mountain on it. So, if you're 20 miles from the equator on an island that is a mountain, and you take a satellite image from very high up in the sky, how can you see the water past the mountain if this is a photo of a globe? You know, you can't. It's impossible. You wouldn't even see this island, period, let alone a mountain. There it is, way down there. You can't see that from any distance. So, is this picture real or fake? It's from a satellite, supposedly. and it's in Reader's Digest. I looked in the back credits, and there's nothing that references the picture to anything. But I did find this picture here again, and this is the very first page. Same picture. Now, if this is a real picture from a satellite, you wouldn't see the waters here below Africa, let alone the waters below this little tiny island. You would not see that from a satellite because you can't get the whole globe on there with the curvature. You just can't do it. The only way this picture is real is if it was half of a picture of the flat earth where they cut out the equator. That's the only way it could be real. So this picture has to be fake. So let's see what this looks like on paper. All right, if the Earth's diameter is rounded up to 8,000 miles and the satellite height is rounded up to 24,000 miles, well, with a 12-inch Earth, the satellite would only be 36 inches away. Or if the Earth was 3 inches, a satellite would be 9 inches away. So here's my Earth with the North Pole. It's 3 inches in diameter. And over here is my satellite. And if you draw a line, what it could see, it falls short of the equator. Okay, on both sides. Now with a 12-inch globe, satellite being 36 inches away, before I was standing probably 9 feet away. So I took my globe apart, and there hangs the northern hemisphere. And I only have to be 36 inches away, which is right about here. So we'll zoom in and see what we can see. All right, I don't see the waters of Africa. Let's see if I can see Mexico. I can see Mexico. I can't see the waters. I can't see South America. Back up. Now I'm about 40 inches away. So you tell me, is that picture fake? Now here's a horrible comparison of the two, but still, does it look the same to you? Now here's Brian's channel, and his last upload was the one where he brought the atlas out. And he also does one over here on a moonlight temperature test on the asphalt. Now I tried this test and it didn't work for me. I didn't test it on asphalt. I tested it on objects off of asphalt. There was a piece of plastic, some 2x4s. It didn't work for me. All right, and I'm not saying he's trying to deceive anyone, but I discredited the test simply because when you point this thermometer at something, the angle you hold it at can actually make a difference. And I'll show you an example. There's a little case over here. Okay. Let's see if I can do this. All right, straight on. She's reading 76 degrees. Oh, 77. All right, if I tilt it on an angle, the temperature drops. Okay, so I wasn't getting any results on my test, and I didn't even upload the video because simply you couldn't see it. It was horrible. It was dark. It was just horrible. Not worth doing. Now this is Brian's video where he opens up the book to show this satellite image. And if you are going to tell me this is a real picture, I'm going to tell you the Earth is flat. Okay? Now, I'm not a true flat earther. I don't know what shape the Earth is in. But there is a guy, Dr. Zach, who's going to be running a laser experiment test. It's this one right here. Okay, there is no reason this test should be successful if the Earth is a globe. So I'm waiting for the results of this. And if this test shows a straight line over 14.3 miles, I'd like somebody to explain that one to me.